Hey, peace, blessing, love, and light. It's your girl, Divinely Guided D. I'm coming at you with the ones and twos. I I felt called per usual, when I put the content out there, I said I don't force it, it's when it speaks to me, right? So I felt led to do this video. And this was after some oil sheen. This was after I let me give this woman her just due because so there was this YouTuber who I happened to stumble across and first time, and she was speaking on TRACI Braxton, and let me find her name so you guys can go and look her up. So hold on, I know my YouTube was not tampered with. Give me a second. So yes, excuse me. So her name is In Touch with E. I'm still getting into sharing my screen. Not there yet. So, this is what she looks like. In touch with E. It's a little glare, but in touch with E. Oop, that doesn't matter. That's not bear with me. And when I tell you this sister, okay, she 4 hours ago, I'm looking at, because y'all don't think I'm lying. It says right there. The ghetto. Shout out to Nene Leaks. The ghetto. So she did a piece entitled "Burdens of a Mother: colon the real reason the sisters treated TRACI Braxton different." Hashtag the Braxtons. So you don't think I'm lying. It's a little on the reflection side, but it's enough words. You can find. So, In Touch with E girl, thank you so much for all the receipts that you put to really highlight the mistreatment that TRACI was receiving. So it's a washing machine, by the way. I felt emotional. I feel emotional now, so I'm gonna just put my glasses on because I'm a G. I I still feel emotional because I am TRACI. TRACI is me. Um, TRACI is a lot of us. TRACI is a lot of I feel like chosen ones, black sheeps, like legit black sheep. And it was just several instances that um was put in that video, and I'm emotional because I'm thinking about the injustice, and I'm thinking about the burdens that one carry, and how much sometimes we try to make different decisions to go a different path and to not be bitter and to still see life as beautiful as it is and as beautiful as we should see it, right? I had wrote somewhere that she was authentic. This was when I was commenting on another video that was made commenting on Trina and her husband when they did that live, and she's wearing the Barbie shirt and he's, trying to talk down to her. And it just seems like the more I listen to that video, and I'm gonna say her name again because she did her thing. Um, the more I saw that video, In Touch with E, that she made, um, the more clear it was that karma is doing the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's so interesting how people would try to point the finger at you if you consider yourself a black sheep, whoever you are, would point the finger at you and blame you for all of the mishap that goes on with them. But when you're no longer there, whose fault is it? I'm no longer there. That person's no longer there. You're no longer there to make them look bad or to embarrass them or to whatever the case may be. And I just found it extremely interesting when it was highlighted that she died of esophageal cancer and not feeling like she could use her voice. And I said, you know what? I have to take heed. We have to take heed. And that content creator, girl, I don't know if you're spiritual, but I feel that you are. Because when you said it's that it's no coincidence, or it's just interesting. I think you said it was interesting. I don't, it was interesting that that's what she died of, and not feeling that she could speak for herself, or like as if it was wrong for her to do so. I'm really feeling it, y'all, but I gotta push through because I was also watching another video about you know not getting caught up in trying to be perfect. So I'm not here trying to be perfect or caring about too much of the the production right now. Although I just wanted to highlight how important it is for us to speak, like speak when we feel called to, even if it causes like, ripples or tension. But sometimes that tension is needed in order for people to be able to move forward, to grow. And a lot of people are not growing. And some of those siblings are not growing either. Tamar, you know, and she was just a nasty piece of work. Nasty piece of work to her sister. And I don't know if it's because I don't want to be so cheap and say it was jealousy, or it could just be because that's just the way they normalize the treatment of Traci. And somebody in the comment has said that too. And under the video, In Touch with E, because I'm gonna keep giving this woman her flowers. This woman did her thing with that breakdown, the receipts. Give me a second, I'm getting. Ooh. Okay, I'm back. So, there was someone who commented below on the video, and I have to share this because it was a little long, but I was left like, wow. So she wrote, 1,000% correct. In the comments section on one of your last videos, I stated that Traci's mistreatment started in childhood. Traci was a free spirit and very warm and loving. I believe Miss E did not know how to relate to Traci from the beginning. I believe Miss E is very cold, and I believe it started in Mrs. E upbringing. She seems to maybe have grown up in a cold household where I love you and hugs were no given freely. Not. They probably meant not. She seems to be a do as you were told, and if I provide for you, then take that as I love you. Miss E showed favoritism in her girls, and it did not start as adults. Traci, I think, scared the shit out of Miss E because of her giving birth to a child with such a bright light. Traci more than likely was always a daddy's girl, and that did not change because of her parents' divorce, nor because of the cause of it. Traci finally got to do something with her sisters, which was BFVS, Braxton Family Values. And they mistreated her at every opportunity they could. They didn't see no problem or wrongdoing to Tracy on the live TV because they more than likely always treated her like that. She, out of her sisters, still kept her trait of being a free spirit and did things her own way. Evelyn didn't just start mistreating Tracy. She has more than likely always been the invisible child and was ignored by her mother. Her requests were more than likely never really met. Her complaints and feelings went unheard. Tracy said that her and Tawanda were the middle children, but here is the difference. Tawanda has inserted herself as the enforcer or work mule, and that in itself is another thing, a place where the darker skinned relatives are put in these roles in black families. Now back to Tracy. Unlike Tawanda, Tracy doesn't take on this position because of her free-spirited nature. Her nature was that I belong and I am good enough. It is their problem for not seeing it. She spoke up for herself and defended herself within her dynamic with her sisters and mother, yet still have love and respect for them. This is just her loving nature. It isn't ironic that she had esophageal cancer. This poor woman never had a voice. She had no voice with her sisters, her mother, or in her marriage. Not even in death was Tracy's voice of request heard. Her family to me, minus her son, father, and brother to me, all feel guilty. Kevin had a public funeral against Tracy's request was all for him. It was to try and make himself feel better for all the wrong and disrespect he did to her. I know his thoughts were kicking his ass and her sisters. They didn't speak to each other or come together after her death. They all know that they are guilty as a collective in the unwarranted mistreatment of their sister. To me, to be honest, I don't think Miss E cared all that much that Tracy passed. I say this because I know a Christian narcissist when I see one. She is self-righteous and does not forgive. She has not forgiven her ex-husband for his betrayal, and she did not forgive Tracy either. Rest in peace, Tracy. Tell me, I feel a little shiver just now. Got the goosebumps. I don't know if you can see it close. Can't really, but you can't tell me what comments on that isn't preaching a word. Isn't like preaching a word. When I tell you, I felt every single word that was written on there. And I think the reason why I'm emotional is because I'm still here. And she's not. And Tracy definitely was older than me, but it was the cancer that took her out. And I feel like that was caused by, like the commentator said, and I'm not, what's your name? The person who commented, because I'm here reading, quoting, Chrissy, LI675, Chris Lee. Chris Lee? Sorry, Chris. But just know, I gave you your props. She wrote a lot. Look, you're not going to tell me I'm lying. This is the comment. I want to give you a little shine, Chris Lee. That's blurry, but you see, it was, yes, it was a word. It was a word. It was a word. Now, so many of us who try to people please, we try to downplay who we are because we think, okay, you know, today is them, tomorrow me. And sometimes it doesn't always work like that. We cannot keep betraying ourselves for the sake of the family, for the sake of, you know, this is what we do, this is how we were raised. That woman was disrespected up until her death, the funeral, even after. And it's like, how long do one have to take that? And it was they show clips of the I think they said it was the first and only reunion that the Braxtons had. And calling her ghetto and saying she was raised by a pack of what was it? Pack of dogs or it was just disrespectful. And you know, I know Wendy was just hosting, but that's another thing the YouTuber mentioned. She mentioned how interesting the turn of events that has happened for Wendy, which is that's the case on its own. But they asked Tracy, she asked Wendy had asked Tracy a question that came from social media. They always say is one of them. It's a supporter of the show asking, "Are you sure you're not adopted?" Now, can you imagine? She was already, I don't even know how old by the time that filmed. And then prior to all of that, everything she had to deal with growing up and then trying to stay sane, raising her child and being in a marriage. And, there's a lot that we can learn from her. There's a lot that we can learn. I really find it, I find it divinely orchestrated that I came across this, and I've been a little I was a little hesitant at first about my voice and what that seemed like. So when I say I don't just post just anything just to I can't do it. But this right here was a word. Um Tracy Braxton was a strong individual who didn't mind being herself, even if other people didn't understand her. And it's interesting that even though she seemed to be less financially stable, right? She didn't seem the most miserable. Uh, I find it interesting. She had her song "Last Call." Maybe it's the last call for certain people, huh? What I um what I would like to suggest, right, is that we write down. See, write down everyone, anybody who makes you feel uncomfortable in your own skin. And I want you to ask yourself, can you see yourself really living without them, surviving without them? And if you can, then that's a start to let you know that you do not have to put up with anything that those people are making you feel, especially if it makes you question your own worthiness. So I'm gonna probably put this in a post as well. Whoever sees it, you know, once again, rest in peace, Tracy Braxton. Rest in peace to the old version of who you are going to be. Rest in peace to all of that, because that is dead and gone. Finito. once again, I do want to I gotta shout her out because she did her thing. Well, at least I feel like she did her thing, and I'm gonna shout it out. In Touch with E. Okay? In Touch with E. Once again, that's what the cover looks like. Make it wide. Of course, Tony would be censored, right? Can't even see that. Let me make it smaller and do it basic. But you guys get it. I'll just make it easy and put a link. So by now, I'm gonna have it. I'm over it. But yes, and like always, your girl is here to stay. Hey.